Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Wonder Repeat. We have a back-to-back feature with Joey the Professor tonight, apparently. So we have Chris Holloway, who is the brains behind MOORE Expo and also the Big Iron Overland Rally. And then we have Megan, who is definitely the beauty part of that. So at first, let's cut to the chase. You guys, how are y'all?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
Hey, I see you dressed all up, Megan. You did not have to do that.
Well, no dressing up here.
You're so cute. I wasn't lying whenever I said you're the beauty behind it. You know, Chris takes the hat off, and then we're there. You go. Y'all are so cute. Well, as we all saw, you were just on Joey the Professor's, talking all things MOORE. So I kind of want to get behind the scenes of MOORE per se. I want to learn more about you and your love and where all of this started. And of course, we'll hit some things with MOORE too. So tell us a little about yourself. How long have y'all been into overlanding? Where did this begin?
Megan and I have been married for 8 years. Yep. We're high school sweethearts, and we have always really enjoyed camping and getting out. So before anybody ever even said the word or name overland, we were going on float trips in high school and camping at campgrounds. We kind of started venturing out a little bit further. We'd leave our home state of Missouri and head down to Arkansas and do a little camping and floating on the Buffalo, and it kind of grew from there. And then Megan saved my life pretty much. I was ready to buy a new vehicle, and
what vehicle were you gonna get?
I was gonna get a Dodge Challenger or Dodge Charger Scat Pack and make a race car.
He was so close. And a few years before that, when he had his first Jeep, he was like, I really like that thing. I might need to get another one of those someday. So whenever it was coming time to buy another vehicle, I was like, remember when you said you always wanted to get a Jeep again? Maybe you should do that instead.
Yeah. So did you get a Jeep? I've never known you as a Jeep person.
Yeah. So I started out with an 03 Rubicon TJ, and then it got sold when I got into sales. So I was about to, I was calling dealerships trying to make a deal on a Charger, and it was going to be competition orange and all that fun stuff. And then
yeah, Matt's telling me, ew, that's gross.
She's like, you should try a Jeep again, and I was like, cool. So I got with
just wanted a Jeep guy.
I had a good one
and I didn't want him to kill himself in a race car, so
yeah,
there's that. Yeah.
So I got with a friend that had a cool 2012 Rubicon 4-door sitting on the lot, and I was like, all right, I like it. He said, man, I'll bring it up to Kansas City and let you test drive it, and it never went home. So then we started going to some off-road parks and getting into it that way.
So I do have to ask. That doesn't look like any Rubicon I know.
That's the original Overland rig for the Holloways.
Yeah.
What is that? A Ford Explorer?
That's an Escape.
I don't even know. I see Ford on there. That's all I know. It's not a Bronco. That's all I care.
No, that's 7 years ago.
I think it was about 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
7 or 8 years ago.
Look at your little checkered apron tablecloth.
We still have that.
I was driving a Ford Fusion, but I knew I wanted a rooftop tent, so I was like, let's put it on the Escape.
Yeah,
and then
somehow he talked me into that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So so we just getting the Jeep. We kind of jumped into doing some off-road trips and going down to Disney and going to Rush Springs and going to S'more and yeah, Jared knows the John Henry Steel Driver is what we named the Jeep, but we've taken that thing all over the place, and we started realizing that we like camping
Right.
and just enjoying the place that we're at as opposed to the axle twisting,
Right.
wheel bending off-roading that I was doing. So that's kind of how it transitioned into the overland world.
Gotcha. So where do y'all like to go camping a lot? I know you have the S'more right there and you have the Mark Twain. We've never actually been to Mark Twain at all. So I don't even
You'll have to
I don't
come
even know
up.
if that's I would love to do
Love
that.
it. It's neat down there. It's like our little Arkansas.
Yeah. There's some beautiful places along like Table Rock Lake and along all of that area. Some really pretty places. So where do y'all go? Close.
We typically always land in Arkansas, it seems like.
Okay.
We've done some Kansas trip stuff, which is pretty flat.
Yeah.
And a lot of southern Missouri camping. We've been Colorado. We camped with Rowan in Colorado when she was 8 months old.
Yeah.
And did all the mountain passes and stuff like that. So that was a blast. We spent a week and a half
South Dakota.
In the Black Hills of South Dakota. That's in West Virginia. So that was an amazing trip. I think that's right up there with some of my absolute favorites.
I love the pictures of her just getting out and exploring.
Yeah. Oh man, she
loves it.
She is a camper.
Look at that smile. So she's pretty much doing this since she was born.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, when we stayed in South Dakota, Megan was pregnant.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
For that camping trip, and you were.
I think I was about 6 months or so, so we had to be careful of how high altitude we got. So like we started up South Dakota through Wyoming,
right,
down through Colorado, and we had to keep an eye on the altitude there.
Yeah, it's pretty big to be traveling at those elevations, like when you're further along like that.
Right.
We did the Camp 5 trail in South Dakota.
What is that?
It's the rockiest. It's like being blender for like 7 hours.
That's great.
Very loosey-goosey, hanging on to the
At least you weren't going through like the whole like nausea phase at that point. That would have been horrible.
I was like halfway through it, I looked over and I could tell she's like, I'm so ready to
be on some flat ground.
I'm like, I'm looking at the map. We're halfway.
I love this picture. That's hysterical. Chris, you didn't get the memo to stick out your tongue though.
No.
Right.
Where is that waterfall at? That's beautiful.
That's in the Smoky Mountains at Bald River Falls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've never been out east. We've not done anything in North Carolina and all like the whole Smoky Mountain area in Gatlinburg. We've been to Gatlinburg, but that's kind of more touristy, I guess. There's not a whole lot to play, right?
There's a ton of great stuff. Just
really? Like for camping and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff. There's some great trails, like Hurricane Creek trails, amazing and fun and beautiful tall pines. It's funny, Joey and I don't know if Connie, I don't think Connie went, but Joey was out there just a couple weeks after we were.
We were like right behind him.
Yeah. I think they go to Tennessee quite a bit.
Yeah. In West Virginia is super cool. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So now what do you drive whenever you go camping? Do you drive the MOORE vehicle? I know you tell us a little bit about this vehicle. So it's kind of special.
Yeah. So it's a 2005 Lexus GX 470 and it's extremely heavy. It weighs about 7,600 pounds right now.
Gotcha. So she's loaded down.
Yeah, she's loaded down. So what we've done is we've upgraded the brakes to 5th gen 4Runner brake or a 460 brake.
That looks like
we've put 1,000-pound springs in the back with air ride suspension
Okay.
to help cover some of the extra weight. It's got a long range fuel tank in it, so there's 400 pounds.
We're interested in getting one of those, especially when we go full time. Did you go through the long range? I know you're having a vendor at MOORE for that.
Yep.
Did you go through? Is it the same type of thing?
Direct through Long Range America.
Okay.
They're great. Adventure Motors did the install, but man, it's nice. You get down to that quarter tank and just push a button, and it takes a while. It takes like a half an hour actually to fill your tank back up.
Okay.
But
so you don't want to get completely empty.
Yeah, you don't want to get completely empty, otherwise. So it's cool though. You just hit the button.
Because that would be me.
And watch it fill up. But yeah, that truck's got full red arc battery management system with 200 amp hour lithium batteries.
Yeah.
Ironman bumper on the front. It's got the Big Country 4x4 rooftop tent by Rugged Bound. Man, it's got the ostrich wing awning, the drawer system, front runner drawer system.
It's turnkey.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, the MOOREbile.
The MOOREbile.
Thanks, Nathan. So I've always had a neat name for all my vehicles, and I just could not name this one. And Megan's like, it's the MOOREbile.
The MOOREbile. It's like MOOREbile.
Yeah, so cool. It's like that. That fits great with the steel driver.
I mean, you could have went with Big Iron.
Yeah.
Or something,
Right? Nope. It got
the MOOREbile.
Affectionately named the MOOREbile, and it's stuck. I should have never told that story.
So when you go camping, do you mostly take the MOOREbile? I'm going to keep calling it that, by the way.
Yeah. Yep. Now that's like the
go-to.
100% of the time. That's the rig I'm taking. It's just it's got everything on it. We built it for the expo, so we partnered with so many different companies on the build. I'm very fortunate to have that at our disposal. So and it's a rolling billboard too, so that's always good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the one that we take. And then my Wrangler, the JK, it's neglected. And
I know, poor John.
It's not really neglected. I mean, that's my daily driver. So I take Rowan to school and pick her up from school every day. But it's now like it probably would be considered a mall crawler because it's not been.
It's still all tricked out. It's just not been anywhere in a while.
It just doesn't go. It doesn't see it. You're just saving it for Rowan. That's what you're doing.
No doubt. Yeah. I've threatened to sell it a couple times, but I'm always corrected really quick on.
You can't. This is the fun vehicle.
It is. Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand. So, does Rowan like to go to these places? Does she have jobs around the campsite, or do you just let her kind of run around wild? And like, what's the normal setup around camp, Megan? Do you do most of the indoor stuff, and you, Chris, do the setup, or is it a team effort?
Chris does most of the setup. I think I know how to do it. I've watched enough times. I've not really done it myself.
Right.
But I'd say everything else is pretty well tag teamed. The cooking, the cleanup, all that stuff is pretty much teamwork, getting all that done. So
that's awesome. Does Rowan like to help in and participate? Or does
Not
she just
really.
like to play with,
As soon as we get out and set up somewhere, she's gone.
She's too busy exploring.
Finding bugs or acorns or
anything.
Anything.
Playing in the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Totally.
I love that.
Or finding other kids immediately. Like she's got this radar for other kids.
She was playing with kids at Big Iron last year, like just running around like wild.
Yep.
I loved it so much.
That's our daughter.
They all just kind of babysit each other. It's
so it's always like, okay, who's taking care of who whenever Dad goes out with Rowan?
Just like a quick little count, every 30 minutes or so. Like, oh, they're over there. Okay, no, now they're over here.
Yeah,
we're all together somewhere.
Exactly. So, what started your idea behind? I know you've always, like you said, both like the outdoors. She kept you in check, didn't steer you down the racing path. So what look at that. What was the brains like? Did both of y'all decide to do this for MOORE? And I know Springfield, the community, is your heart. So is that what started it?
No, actually. So when I was growing up as a kid, my father's best friend is a show promoter, and he
Okay.
does RV and boat shows in Springfield. So growing up as a kid, it was always him and my dad were buddy buddy, and it was always like, hey, send Chris down for the weekend, and I'll send him home with some cash, and he can dump
Work
trash.
it.
And then the next year it was he can work the front gate. Actually, Megan and I did a TV commercial for that RV show. Man, that was
Oh my
years
gosh, I
ago.
think we were probably 19 or 20.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible.
It was so
I
bad.
would love to find that.
I know. I'd
I've
love
got
to
it
see it.
saved
Do you
somewhere.
really?
Yeah.
So I was familiar with shows and kind of how they worked.
Okay.
And then when I left for college, I completely forgot all about all that. Didn't know that it was a lesson that I'd learned throughout my life.
Mhm.
Shadowing somebody
Right.
that's been doing shows for 33 years. So then we get the Jeep and not the race car, and I had an opportunity to help a local veterans group down in southern
Okay.
Missouri put on a Jeep event that was 100% of the proceeds are going to help
Was this through Oscar Mike?
no, it
Oh, is
was
it a different? Okay.
it was a super small group, a
Okay.
group of about 8 guys. It was actually, it's funny, it's the CVMA, which is Combat Veterans Motorcycle
Oh,
Association.
okay.
So that's who we were helping out. But we had a couple months to plan, and by the end of the 2 months, I had raised $20,000 in raffle prizes to give away, and we had live music coming in from Nashville
That's awesome.
and guest speakers, and it was a whole production. Well, I was just doing that for fun, and I love throwing a party and getting a community together, and especially if it's for a good cause. Well,
Yeah, I'm totally behind that too.
so my dad's friend actually came down just to see what I was up to. He heard, through the rumor mill that I was putting on an event and wanted to see if I'd retained anything that I learned from him, I guess.
Yeah.
And he came down and checked it out, and then was on the phone with me the next day saying, "Hey, you can do this. You can start an event in Springfield and get this thing rolling. I know you've got the charisma to do it." And
Mhm.
I ran it by Megan, and she was like,
I was about to say, where's Megan on all this? Was she kind of
her and I both were
I
kind of
think
like,
I think if I remember right, we were sitting down to dinner, and he's like, "I've got something important I need to talk to you about," and I'm like, "Okay, what is it?"
remember that race car that I
Yeah,
really
just
wanted?
race car, and just kind of pitched me the idea, and then like,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
let's
and
try it.
I was on the edge about it too, because it's a huge
It's a big undertaking.
undertaking, financial investment,
Hmm.
and the exposure is there. You mess up
Yeah.
one thing, you'll probably be okay, but you mess up 3 or 4 things, and nobody's going to remember all the good things you did. They're going to remember all the things you didn't
They're
do
always
good.
waiting, like
Yeah,
waiting for they're clapping slowly with you, but when you fall, that's when it, yeah, I know.
yeah.
I get it.
So I was super nervous, but I thought, you know what, let's do it. And Megan has 180% supported me through this entire thing.
Yeah.
You know, and oh yeah, that's at the very first show.
I know.
Setup day.
Yeah, so and it's great. Megan's support at the expo is phenomenal. She runs that front gate. She
Yeah.
runs the move in. She makes everything happen so smooth. And then the support throughout the year is phenomenal too. She helps me at the house when I've got to go run to Springfield like I'm doing tomorrow for a night.
Yeah.
She's running and gunning, making sure the kids picked up from school and the house
Yeah.
is in order and all that stuff. And then
It
when I
takes a lot for you, Chris, but at the same time, Megan she's the one in the shadows. She's the gears behind the machine, because she's keeping things running at home, and she's very much a part of MOORE and Big Iron, and I love seeing her there. So
much. And every idea that I have is always mentioned every morning. I'm standing in the shower and she's getting ready, and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing today, and this is what crazy ideas I came up with, and this and that. And she's the backboard to any of my crazy ideas, and the first thing to tell me that no, that's awful.
Oh yeah, has she told you no and told you that this is a really bad idea? You shouldn't do this, babe.
Plenty of times. It
besides the race car.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
Besides the race car, but she's always got a great input on this stuff.
How does it affect y'all? I know the planning right now is in crazy swing mode. So do you just try to do the most during the day? I know with Matt working, so he tries to do the most, and then there's like a time where it's just like, this is me and Megan time. This is still family time. I know you still try to go out and get away, but it's also a balance. So how do y'all navigate that balance?
I have a really strict rule about no phones at dinner or like while we are doing some sort of family time. So, and he's really good about that. A couple times he'll pick up his phone and look at something, and all I have to do is just,
girl, you speaking my language.
I'm sorry, it's just something real quick. I'm like, yeah, put it down.
Yeah.
No, you can wait.
You can wait.
Yeah.
It's important just to make sure that you know what comes first in all this, and we have to check ourselves occasionally.
Yeah. I think we all do.
Megan's extremely busy at her work. And me being busy at mine. A lot of times we'll end up on the couch watching Trailer Park Boys or something silly together, and we're both just sitting there with the laptops open, getting some stuff done. Or sometimes we'll both open our laptops and then we'll look at each other and it's like, close them. Let's go get a glass of wine.
Yeah.
So,
let's go to that amazing Italian place down the road.
Right.
We're both young professionals, and we know that we have work to do, and we both have pretty demanding jobs. So, fortunately, each of us love our jobs. So
I was about to say, I know just a second ago, I first found out what Megan does. Chris, is this your full time, or do you have a full time and this is just your spare thing?
This is my full time now.
Okay.
I left the workforce in January of this year.
Oh, so really? So recently?
I'm almost to a year of 1 year self-employment. So
okay,
just part of that great migration.
I know.
Yeah,
it's scary though. It's scary. Sometimes it's you never know. Like it's kind of taking that leap to start this whole project. It's a big leap.
It is
for sure.
Yeah. But once you make it and take the leap, it's not so scary.
No, especially for your job. Y'all do amazing work, like I said. So tell us a little bit about MOORE that's coming up. I know we heard a lot with Joey, but I want to know, what should we do? Like, I know you told us today earlier, like we got to be there April the 7th. We're going to get there, I think, on a Wednesday. And then we're going to start, and it's going to be till the 10th. So what do you have planned now that you've made it into 3 days plus some, possibly?
You want to take this?
You go ahead.
He's like, please take this.
So the MOORE Expo has grown. It's doubled every year since we've started. This will be our 3rd year. So we went from 34,000 square feet to now we're at 172,000 square feet of exhibit space.
Okay.
We started with 50 vendors. Now we'll have over 150. The MOORE Expo is in Springfield, Missouri. It's the Midwest Overland Off-Road Expo, and we want to cater and create an event that's going to be ever changing, but always going to focus on adventure travel. it's all overlanding stuff and off-road stuff right now, but I can't say that next year we won't have sailboating in there, just it's
Yeah.
adventure travel, and it's how you decide that you want to go explore. So
Well, I heard e-bikes being mentioned for this year. So that's
e-bikes,
totally,
so
yeah, that's totally different.
yeah, Quiet Cat's coming in with a fleet of about 15 bikes, and they'll all be set up outside
That's fun.
for test drives. And man, if you don't want to buy one of those things, don't get on one because you will buy it. They are cool.
I'm scared. I'm always scared about MOORE because I know I'm going to spend a lot of money. Like, I just love it so much because you get to put your hands on the things and you get to climb up in the tents and you get behind the driver's seat of a Bronco that I'm going to this year because I want one really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just super pumped. I'm so pumped.
I love the the date change from February to April.
Yes.
And man, I was so nervous about that. I didn't know if anybody was gonna love it or hate it, but I had to make the decision without polling
What
the
was your idea, Megan, behind like with the date change? Because February Valentine's Day, that's a big date for couples to give up, especially ladies.
That was kind of my criticism from the very beginning was, are we sure Valentine's Day? I'm
Mhm.
afraid we're gonna lose, a good chunk of people that,
Right.
were super dedicated to that holiday and celebrating it, as a couple
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
I mean, Chris and I will usually, we'll go out to dinner or we'll make some nice steaks or something, but it was never something that was super critical to us.
Mhm.
And that was kind of Chris's argument was, well, but other people it is. And we
Mhm.
did get that feedback from, there were
I'm sure.
some
I'm
people
sure.
say, well, I'd love to do this and this, but it's Valentine's weekend. And so that and then the weather. I mean,
Mhm.
this past winter, that killed us on Sunday
Girl,
especially.
that
I
was some crazy stuff. But that's not something that like you can never plan an event around weather because
No.
No.
I
it's
mean,
just
we
it's
could
so
get that weather
unpredictable.
during April too. I mean, probably not, but it's possible. We've
Yeah.
gotten some big snows before in May even. So,
Yeah.
it's possible, not as likely, but we're hoping for just better, nicer weather and
Yeah.
it's a
And
good
now
time.
you can celebrate Valentine's Day. Like y'all can go out.
We've always gone out for Valentine's Day. We go out because Valentine's Day is always on Sunday, is that right?
No,
No?
No.
14th.
It's never said. It's just a day.
Really important for us.
Uh,
Clearly he was always been at MOORE, so he hasn't celebrated in a few years.
it's always the Sunday night after everybody's gone and the
Yeah.
hall is empty.
That may have been your time to celebrate because
That's
when we
after
do our
MOORE.
Valentine's
That's when
Day.
we'd go do our Valentine's Day, and it's like Sunday night in Springfield, and everything's dead, and it's just us laughing and
Yeah.
carrying on, licking our wounds after
Yeah.
a weekend. Yeah,
A
for
long
week and a half.
year.
Yeah.
It's a long year.
Yeah, year.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Well, because once one ends, you basically start preparing for the other.
Yeah, we worked 363 days a year for 2 days. Well, now
Mhm.
362 days a year for a 3-day show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And so when did you decide to bring in Big Iron through this? Because that was never a thing. I mean, you expanded more, like you were half the expo center area the first year. The second year you were the full thing, and that was just eye opening. I cannot imagine this year. But then you decided to bring Big Iron in.
That was decided on let's see. That was decided and almost completely planned on the way home from my last day at MOORE Expo in the blizzard.
You must have got stuck in the snow.
No,
Oh,
so with Big Iron, it was like I'm visiting with my brother, so he gets a lot of credit in this, and he said, "Man, that was such an awesome event. You got to do something to keep the momentum going.
Mhm.
Keep it going." And then I thought, you know what? It would be great to have just a fun event that's not so you know, so vendor oriented. Not that that's a bad thing. That's fun too. But
Right.
just come in. You're not being sold anything. You just
Yes.
come and relax.
Yeah.
It's centered around music. We do have vendors there because the vendors really do make the show fun.
And I honestly think the amount of vendors that you had, this is just as a person that experienced it, was perfect. Like it wasn't too much to where you felt like you had to, like that's what that was about. But it was enough to offer you like a little sample if you wanted to pick something up.
Yeah, grab something, or a lot of people were buying stuff because they needed stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
their fire pits went crazy and rain jackets were
Hmm.
ponchos were sold out in a
But it
matter of
only rained for like that morning and then it was
2 hours.
beautiful. Like so beautiful.
So we're on the way home from Springfield, and it was like, man, I want to have a fun event
Hmm.
that just kind of reflects and is a wind
Yeah.
down after the big MOORE Expo, and let's just chill
Right.
and enjoy ourselves. And then 72 days later, we had Big Iron, which was a huge success. It was a blast.
It was a blast.
I it was one of the best. I don't even know how exactly to put it into words if you weren't there because it was one of for me the best experiences that because it was one so chill. People would like we were parked in front of the big scoop or not the big scoop, but the end where the bands were playing. Like we parked right on the edge of that, so it was a perfect place to park. But then just the fact that you're all around this big machine, I guess is what
Hmm.
you would call it. And we're just all chilling. Like it's basically one big campsite. And that's the fire pit area. It's just you're all huddled around, you're walking to everybody's places, getting to meet people. It's just so casual and just relaxing. And I know from me and Matt's perspective, where a lot of these events, the bigger events, we go and we speak and we meet all these new people, which we love, but it can also be very tiring and we don't get to actually take a step back and relax. This was exactly like there wasn't people like wanting to come up and drive us, ask us all these questions and stuff. So it was super cool to be able to just become a person again and
Yeah,
just to chill with what was like family.
Yeah.
and that's what the whole thing's designed around. And it's this year we're capping the sales on tickets.
Yeah.
I don't want this. It's got the potential to become huge and a lot of fun for thousands of people, but I don't think that's what I want. I think I want a small party.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, I do not want a bigger party. Like I want it to be like what it was.
Yeah, so we're gonna cap the camping sites at
Hmm.
500. We didn't hit that number for the first show, but it was the first show.
Yeah. And the weather, I think people, they were like, and then they flaked out, but then they missed
Yeah,
it. So that was on them.
yeah. So we'll cap it at 500. Just a heads up for everybody. Tickets go on sale January 1st. We'll announce it on the MOORE page and on the Big Iron page a few days before, just to give everybody a reminder. But you'll see those sell out fast.
Yeah.
I'm imagining. So
I know we're going to be there. I'm super pumped. I don't
mhm.
care. There's one thing that me and Matt have always said, like we have been full supporters of everything Chris Moore because he's the heart. Like the heart is there for us. And so when you see that and it's not about some big production and a money making thing, it's just about let's just do this. One of the things that you did that spoke the most to me was at Rendezvous in the Ozarks. I know they come out to MOORE and their vendors with Natural State Overland, but at Rendezvous in the Ozarks, when everybody's raffling off their things, you went to everybody's booth, got something from their booth, and then raffled that off. So just the fact that you have that heart between supporting everybody and just really showing that we are all in this together. Sign me up.
That's it. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
what's really nice is that's the majority of the
Hmm.
way this entire community is. So it's wonderful. We don't go anywhere that we meet a stranger.
Yeah, that.
make friends at every place that we go, and Rowan does too,
Yeah.
that it's just, and we're building memories for posterity and the future generations,
Yeah.
just seeing the kids play together, and then us being able to hang out with some adults,
Yeah.
kids play, and maybe have a glass of wine is not too
Yeah.
bad either.
And being able to share the passion with someone that you love, and like it's your marriage. It's just a desire that both of you all have together. It's not something that this is what I like, this is what he likes. No, this is what you both enjoy, and you work it out together. Props to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
It does.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what it's been plans for Big Iron? Are y'all going to do a raffle this year? Like you raised all the money. Like that was insane.
And so fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see a raffle. I think it'll always be an auction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Not a
Yeah,
raffle, but an
and
auction. Yeah.
I think that as long as the exhibitors that are there support it and continue to contribute, I think that it'll be returned by attendees, supporting it, and we'll put 100% of those proceeds right to the big Brutus himself. And
I was about to say, I know it got a paint job. I don't know how often they get the paint job. I can't remember how many years. Is it
I
every?
think 20 years.
Okay, so every 20 years. So
Yeah.
are you thinking just to donate it to that whole Big Iron project?
Yeah. So they were lacking about, I think they were lacking about $30,000 to get it painted. And then we had our event, the Big Iron Rally, and raised, I think we raised $8,500.
Okay.
for
Yeah, I
them.
knew it was something. I think that was definitely close to that.
Yeah.
Or
So
86 or something.
wrote them the check.
Mhm.
It's funny because they just kept saying, "Boy, this is a lot more money than we get at our other big event." And I was like, "What's the other big event?" Oh, it's Polka. What is it? It's like Polka Fest.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I can so see that happening because
Yeah.
whenever at the Big Iron, you had all like the people that were behind, starting and that even worked on the Big Iron,
Yeah.
Big Brutus. There we
Yeah.
go. And so I can imagine them playing polka.
Yeah. So they have
I
a Polka
totally can.
Fest,
Totally
and
can.
they said it brings in $1,000 or something like
Yeah.
that. So writing that huge check to him was so amazing, and they're tickled pink that we chose that location to do this.
What made you start in that town? Like how did just the Big Brutus itself?
Yeah, we went there on a day trip. I heard about it and I was like,
Just to
we
see
should
it.
go see this.
Okay.
So I put Megan and Rowan in the car and off we went. We took gravel roads all the way from Kansas City.
No, wow.
And got there, and it was like, whoa, this is so cool. So we're just there as spectators, visitors to check it out. But I was seeing all the stuff. I was like, man, that stage, perfect. That pavilion, awesome. They've got a bathhouse, they've got showers, they have some camping, but they've got this huge field.
Yeah.
Like, let's give it a shot. Now that one made me a little bit nervous too, because it was like, this is in the
That's
middle.
not heard of.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Nothing is around.
There's nothing around.
Literally. No.
And it's not like you can go jump on an off-road trail.
No.
Because there's no off-road trails around there.
I mean, there's some beautiful ponds that Brutus has cut out that you can take like the back roads and see.
Yep.
But yeah, there's definitely there's no s'more. There's not a s'more there.
Exactly. But I wanted it to be more about the event and getting together with people and making those connections, as opposed to, a group of 6 or 8 rigs going to hit a trail for a day, which is also a lot of fun.
Each has their own place.
We have so many opportunities to do that everywhere else we go. It's not that I'm tired of it, but I want to go set up all my gear.
Yeah.
And I want to pretty much just actually relax. We never relax when we're camping. I mean,
Right.
Joey was talking about it on the podcast that I just did, and I'm like, relax. Like, you got dishes to do, you got cooking to do, like you got air up and air down your tires, you're out exploring and stuff. So this event, it was like, we'll put together a run, the miners run, just to go check out some of the stuff in the area, but we want everybody staying close.
Yeah, Jared just said also, let's talk about how well the Overland community took care of the property. There was no trash left behind. I actually saw one of the people that I think is responsible for the property on like a little side-by-side going around with an empty trash bag because they were looking for trash and they were like, there's nothing here.
When I left, Jimmy, who was one of the operators on the machine, came up and said, what was it? No, it was the next time I went down.
Okay.
They said, Chris, we drove around on the golf cart for hours the next day and could not find any trash. And he said that he was talking to one of the guys, the last person that was camping there, and said, sir, I can't believe this. This is crazy. There's no trash. You guys didn't leave any trash. We didn't have to pick anything up. And the gentleman said, you better not have to, sir.
That's right.
And it was like, boy, I'll tell you what, that made a statement. So
yeah, it's definitely leave no trace. And I think that just as a representative of like everybody that was there, like I said, it was just an amazing event. It was super.
No burn marks in the grass even.
Nope.
It was crazy. So yeah,
and it was a blast.
Everybody that came out for that, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a super, super good time. I do have a question. I saw Cindy Pope on here from Northology and also for Core. She was asking, let me see if I can find her question. There's like so many questions that have been going on. She said, and I think this is more geared to MOORE. So what additional vendors do you have on your wish list? Are you trying to get some vendors that, that you want?
I'll never look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm so happy with all of the ones that we have. Some other vendors that I'd like to see come in, and we may hear from them this year, if not in years coming. I'd like to see some more suspension companies represented. Icon Vehicle Dynamics, JRZ Suspension, Ironman 4x4. I'd like to see them come in and make a good connection with the attendees. Who else? Is there anybody that you've got in mind?
Yeah, who do you think, Megan? Do you have anything from a woman's perspective that you would like to see more of?
We have kind of been talking about maybe not so much like the overlandy type stuff, but maybe like some kayak things or just day activity type
just
things.
Outdoor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Silent sports stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Hobie kayaks or something like that would be really cool if we could bring them in. And I have no doubt that, as we grow and as people have more confidence, because we're still a young show, and that's it. We're not Overland Expo. We can't just jump on the call and say, hey, spend money to come to Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean, gee, many Christmas. When I say come to Missouri, some of these companies are like, what? No.
Where is that? Where is that at? Exactly.
Yeah, where's that? Is that in Canada? Is that in Alabama?
Exactly. Mexico? I don't know.
Yeah. So we have a Mexico, Missouri.
Yeah, really? I didn't even know that. That's funny.
Yeah, you can go see all the big countries. You can go to Paris, Missouri. Yeah,
really, that's funny.
So it's nice that we're starting to gain some.
We have a possum grape.
Possum grape?
Yeah, that's a town, I think.
In Arkansas?
Yeah, and toad suck. There's toad
I've heard of toad suck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's possum grape.
Nice.
I don't know how it got its name. I've seen a sign.
It's probably a possum eating a grape, and the guy's like, got it.
That's it.
What are we gonna name this town? I don't care about this town. Possum grape. It's like Rowan. What are you gonna name your new teddy bear? Bear. Yeah.
Bear.
Bear.
Our elf on the.
I mean, it fits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this just in. We also have a Blue Ball, Arkansas.
Yeah,
that one.
Don't want to go there.
Apparently, Joey's backing that up.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, Journey Before Destination Overlanding says if everything goes right, we may have a new enclosed trailer and renting a space. And maybe sharing with a kayak company behind us, all from Michigan.
Wonderful.
Sounds good.
That would be amazing. Hit him up, message him.
Yeah.
After the show.
Right. Yeah, please do. I think it's amazing our friends and family with Core and Northology.
Yeah.
The amount of support that we get out of that community coming all the way down to southern Missouri, from as far north as the way upper peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah.
So we're seeing awesome attendance just from there. I've got a push pin board from the first show above my
really?
bed.
And you can see it up in Michigan.
Well, I took a pine cone that Cindy gave me and stuck it up there on the Michigan thing. So
that's really cool.
They do.
I can't wait to actually meet her in person.
Oh yeah, she's great. Cindy, I hope you get to spend some time down here this go around and enjoy it and not have to drive home in a blizzard.
Hopefully there's no blizzards in April.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. That would just be our luck, right?
Ohio?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
So what's the plans coming forward? Is there any other things that you have going on in that brain of yours? Is there more expos? More?
There is there's an event in progress that's still in the planning stages, but I've got somebody that I trust and know will help me absolutely put this next event on the map. It'll be very small, but it'll be very impactful to the community. So it's along the lines of one of our strong core values, which is education. And I'll leave it at that. It'll be centrally located here in the Midwest, close to all of our stuff.
Don't give away too much.
No, I don't want to at all because it'll be fun when we announce it. So we're working on some stuff like that just to further education and push some learning. That way we can help build the confidence and help grow the community. And then as far as more expos go, obviously we've got our sights on growing bigger. We've doubled every year. But I'm
like this year you're growing out. You're like going outside of the space even.
Yeah, now we've got outdoor exhibits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're really good at what we do before we start trying to grow. And I don't want to grow too fast and miss things and make it not fun for attendees. I couldn't tell you how bad I'd feel if somebody drove all the way in from southern Texas and had a bad time.
And I would just like to stop right there and say he means this. He wants every person to enjoy their experience, whether it's getting a new piece of gear that you wanted or meeting up with someone that you've been following on social media. That he really means that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, at this point, it's my responsibility to make sure everybody has a good time. So if we can do 3 years successful and everything looks great, and I've got the recipe and I know what to do. Yeah, we've got our sights on national expansion.
Dude, that would be amazing.
But I'm going to make sure that we know what we're doing before we do it.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on national expansion? Like, are you thinking like different, like out west, up north, like that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah. Direction.
All that. All the ways.
It's hard telling. I mean, it's there's so much that goes into it. It's not just
Well, you have
I
to have
want
people
to-
there, you know?
exactly. So I can't just point at a map and say that place needs an event. I have to cultivate relationships and
Yeah.
know local contacts and have boots on the ground. So all of that stuff I'm learning with this event. And
Yeah.
and as I grow, it'll grow. And hopefully eventually there's 6 or 8 of these that happen throughout the United States, and people won't have to make the decision to travel 1,000 miles to come to
Or
a
16
place
hours,
to
like
yeah.
like he did in the snowstorm. So if he can drive that far in a snowstorm,
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's a long
those
ways.
those Michiganites.
Yeah,
Is that right? Michigites?
I'm sure
Michigonians.
Cindy will
Cindy will
clarify.
Michigonian? I don't
Michigonians.
know. Yeah, somebody will chime in and let us know, but
Just don't call them Mitsubishis. They probably don't like that.
they're tough. I mean, they don't care about
Yeah,
driving in
I
the
think that
snow.
snowstorm last year was nothing
It's
to
nothing compared to what they're
those
used to up
Oh,
there.
it's Michigander.
Michigander!
There you go.
Dang. All right. I
Where
won't
I
mess
guess
up.
they get the ganders from Overlanders. Is that right? Michigander,
Michelander.
Michelander. That sounds like the Michelin Man or something.
yeah.
So, Megan, what do you think about all of this and his ideas and expansion? And
I'm there.
yeah,
I'm just kind of
you're
along
there.
for the ride. He tells me his crazy over the top ideas, and I rein him in if I need to. But for the most part, I'm there behind him.
Yeah, we all know he may be wearing the pants, but you wear the belt.
Right.
And so you like control the tightening.
Yep. He's not had a bad idea yet. So,
Oh, come on.
That's
Megan's
hysterical.
always cooler heads prevail on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I love that I can just run anything by her and know, like, well, she said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but I think she was being nice.
It's more like, yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
So where do you personally plan on traveling next? Or are you trying to get all things ready for more? Or do you have any trips planned up?
I was pushing hard, but I think I'll not get what I want. But I wanted to go to Big Bend. It's funny. I'm always just a couple weeks after or before wherever the Brofessor goes, but they're going to Big Bend
We're
in
going
January.
the same time.
Oh, are you?
So
Hey,
yeah, so
missed
when are y'all going? Or when are y'all pushing it?
I want to go mid-January.
Okay, so that's gonna be after us. So we're not going with Brofester and them because I think it's Aaron, Artemis, and the Bats Off Road. They're all going, and so I wanted to go with them, but with kids and joint custodies and things, we're not actually going to get to leave until December the 30th, I believe, and then we're gonna stay until the 3rd.
I think that's when
so.
they're going to be down there.
Well, they're leaving the earlier, but they're coming around, I think, on the 1st. So there's like a couple
Okay.
days where we can overlap. So we're gonna try to see if we can spend New Year's Eve night down
There you
there
go.
with them. That'd be way cool.
That's
Have y'all ever been there?
No, it looks
Yeah.
awesome. You
I
guys
want
have
to go.
been, haven't you?
No, we've never been, but I want to go walk or hike the San Elion Canyon. I
Yeah.
don't know. It looks amazing. It's like one of the most beautiful places there. So we're going to try to stay at Cottonwood, but they do a rolling 14-day camp reservation thing. So we can't book it yet. But they're staying somewhere else, but anyways. But yeah, I wish I could have came.
we want to go do that, but I don't know. I'll tell you what, for me, I'm getting so busy right now that I don't know if I can take the time off, which
Yeah.
it's funny because I'm this business is like, okay, right after the show's over, you're busy doing accounting and taxes
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then like there's this lull where it's kind of quiet, which is nice for about 2 months where you just kind of brainstorm and kind of have some time to come on. Yeah. Yeah, see, work from the road. I could do that.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
So I'm used to that. Like, it only takes 2 months
Yeah.
for you to get in the mode of not having to be on the phone all the time and answering emails left, right, and juggling. So it takes a while to get back into the grind. I don't know. It's just a roller coaster.
I know. And then whenever you don't have, when you're not actively working, like you sit there and you think, is this time that I've lost? That I can't, like, should I be doing something now? Like, it's a balance of being able to take that time to just recharge, but also balancing with the guilt of not doing anything.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we totally get that. Matt's been struggling with that because we've had really crappy weather today, and he was supposed to do a video yesterday, but he took the day off because I only have so many days off. And then today it rained, and so he's like, I can't do this video. So he's like, I should have done that video, but I'm like, babe, it'll work out.
Mm-hmm.
It all works out.
Well, it sounds like you guys are gonna plan on hitting the road full time in a few years.
Yep. Yeah, we plan on doing that in 3 years. We have a couple big surprises coming out for everybody soon. We've already announced some things to our Patreon. So anyways, I'm excited about that. Cool. But
I told Matt, we were texting back and forth last night, and I told him, I said, I'm excited because at any point in time I can be like, hey, let's go somewhere cool. Okay, where is Matt and Cara? Okay, that looks somewhere cool. Okay, we're going there.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, where goes that? We're coming to meet you.
Come on. You're more than welcome anytime. But listen, guys, I appreciate y'all so much for coming on tonight. Just both of you, especially you, Megan, because we hear Chris talk all the time. And we know that you're really the brains behind all of this.
No, that's not true at all. No, just the support system. That's it.
Well, it takes the support. I mean, I know Chris can definitely say that he couldn't do this without you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. You betcha.
Well, listen, any other last plugs? I know, where can people go? If I know January 1st is for Big Iron. I know MOORE is already on sale. And have they sold out? Or do you sell out? Or what's the limit there?
We won't sell out.
Okay.
I mean, boy, wouldn't that be crazy? We've got capacity for 20,000, 25,000 in there, so we'll be all right.
Yeah.
There's let's see. Tickets are available if you go to MOOREexpo.com, jump on the website, hit tickets, but then for all of your listeners, don't forget to use the discount code. I can't remember what the discount code is that you get. There's an Ozark Overland Adventures discount code.
Yeah, hold on. Pause. Matt, do you know the code? He's not even listening. I have no idea. He has no idea. That's what he just said.
He has no idea. Well, darn it. So don't kick
Dial a friend.
Yeah, let's see.
So Megan, have you found any cool outfits lately?
It's oh my goodness.
Please hold. I could see him. Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to save 20% on your MOORE Expo tickets,
because I
use the code Ozark ADV 20. So that's Ozark Adventure 20 abbreviated.
So just ADV.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ozark ADV.
Yep. And that one can save you some money.
That'll save you some money, so that way you have all the money that you need to go in. Yeah, I know. I remember telling you that.
From the dungeon, he yells.
Yeah.
Guess I gotta feed the dragon later.
Cara, thanks so much for having us on. I love the podcast.
No problem.
I'm excited that you're doing a show.
Yeah, we have a blast. I just wanted to start at this basically so that way I can talk to people that I don't get to talk to and find, like I said, again, the heart behind it all, because, it's all about the rigs. Everybody sees that, but we also want to know the people.
Yeah.
So anyways, but it's been great, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Wonder, Wonder, Repeat. This has been Megan and Chris Holloway with Big Iron Overland and the MOORE Expo.